Good day, teachers, administrators, and future educators. We are all united by the toughest challenge in language arts, how to teach grammar so it actually sticks. So, we are here because we know that traditional methods aren't working. We are ready to move past the frustration and find solutions. Over the next 45 minutes, four experienced educators will guide you through a complete overhaul of your approach. We divided our presentation into four critical parts, and I'd like to introduce the experts who will lead us each section. I am Leah, and I'll be kicking us off by confronting the elephant in the room. Why does so much of our time spent on drilling and diagramming seem to have zero impact on student writing quality? I will be identifying the core problems and issues in grammar instruction and explaining why the transfer of knowledge fails in the modern classroom. Next, we will be joined by Vanessa. Vanessa brings a wealth of experience in curriculum design, and she will dive deep into the most effective methods and rules of teaching grammar, focusing entirely on pedagogy, the art and science of instruction. Following Vanessa, please welcome Ms. Nika. Nika specializes in interpreting second language acquisition research and will answer the vital question: what does the research actually say about grammar teaching? She will present key findings on approaches like focus on form and will show us how different learners acquire grammar and ensure our proposed solutions are grounded in solid evidence. Finally, we have Jingjing, our expert in applied assessment. Jingjing will bring us home with tangible action steps. She will provide our practical recommendations for teaching and assessing grammar, outlining effective strategies for integration and demonstrating how to redesign our tests and rubrics to measure true communicative competence, not just rote memorization. So we have the analysis, the science, and the strategy. Let's confront the challenges and build a better future for grammar instruction starting right now. So again, good morning everyone. I am Leah T. Morate and I'm kicking off our symposium today by tackling the big question. Why are we still here talking about grammar? It feels like we spend endless hours teaching rules, but then we read student papers and ask ourselves, did they miss a class that day? The problem isn't the students, it's often how we teach and why we think we're teaching it. We need to understand the strong reasons for teaching grammar, the problems we face every day, and the big controversies that divide us. In the process of grammar teaching and learning, it is unavoidable that we meet several challenges and issues regarding teachers and students' beliefs about grammar. So let us begin by asking ourselves, why do we teach grammar? So, why grammar must be taught? First, let's look at seven powerful reasons why grammar is non negotiable in language teaching. Think of this as the foundation of our work. First, we have the seven machine argument. So, grammar rules are like a machine for making endless sentences. Once students know the structure, they can create sentences they've never heard before, and it gives them creative power. Second, we have the fine tuning argument. Grammar helps students say exactly what they mean. It helps them fine tune their message, making the difference between saying, I worked here and I have worked here. So it adds precision. Next, we have the fossilization argument. If we don't fix mistakes early, those mistakes become permanent bad habits. They fossilize. Grammar teaching helps break those bad habits before they set in forever. Fourth, we have the advanced organizer argument. Grammar rules give students a map. They act as an advanced organizer, helping the brain notice and understand new language patterns faster when they hear them or read them. Next, we have the discrete item argument. Grammar is broken down into small, clear pieces. So that will make it a massive job of learning A language feel like manageable and measurable for both the student and the teacher. Sixth, we have the rule of law argument. For many students, especially adults, learning a language feels disorganized without rules. They need the comfort of the rule of law, the security of knowing there is a logical system behind the chaos. Last, we have the learner expectation argument. Quite simply, students expect us to teach them grammar, so they believe they need it. If we ignore it, we fail to meet their fundamental expectations for language learning. And these 7 points show us that grammar is vital for power, accuracy, speed, and confidence. And now let us talk reality. Teaching grammar is hard because of the practical issues we face every day in the classroom. Now, here are the everyday issues we face, the pedagogical issues. So, first, we have the lack of experience and student expectations. Many teachers, especially new ones, lack experience in teaching grammar effectively. So they just repeat old, boring methods. And this often clashes with today's students expect, which is fun, useful, and relevant learning. Another issue that we face is the lack of facilities. This often means a lack of resources like engaging technology, suitable software, or even time in the schedule. And without those good tools, we are stuck with chalk and endless drillings. Next, we have the negative perceptions on grammar teaching. We all carry the trauma of old grammar classes, the boredom, the difficulty, and that create a negative feeling. It's hard to teach something you or your student already dread. Fourth, we have preparing grammar lessons. It takes serious time and effort to create a lesson that is both communicative and accurate. Since it's much faster to just hand out a worksheet, which is why we often fall back on the isolation trap. And these issues are real, but they are not excuses to give up. For us educators, they are reasons to find better strategies. Now we have those problems, issues, those controversies. We need to address the two main questions that divide us language educators. We have controversies like, should grammar instruction be concentrated into a short period or distributed over a long period? And should grammar be taught in a separate lesson or should it be integrated into communicative activities? And these controversies show there is no one right way, but there are ways that are more effective than others. And to find those effective methods, we need to turn our attention to how we plan and teach. Please welcome our next expert for that, Ms. Vanessa Mosquite, our methodologist.
Thank you, Miss Leia, for that wonderful and great explanation. Good day to our teachers, admins, and curriculum developers. I am Vanessa and I'll be tackling about the methods and grammar rules. So let's start. And now, let's talk about communicative method. What we need to consider about communicative method is that teach grammar inside real conversation. Like, for example, you have a best friend that you have a deep conversation about his or her problem in her personal life. So that would be a real to real conversation that you will adapt something that is true from the story. So the real grammar will follow as you talk to each other. Another one is role plays, dialogues, and stories. So when you have a role plays, there's one character that you will create a conversation with someone, but if that is memorized, especially the dialogues and the main story because you have a script. So that would be a communicative method. Then another one is learners see grammar as part of life. Yeah. Oh, we some people will judge us when we are wrong in terms of saying a word or making a sentence because of our grammar. But I think that's normal, especially to us as an English teacher. In the future, I will also need to adapt and learn more about English that I could share to others. But I will try my best. So learners see grammar as part of life. So I will make sure that it would be part of my people methods. Yeah. This is when you use games, songs, posters, and visuals. In meaning to say, it is about being creative or unique in using grammars. When you have a games to do, like in a Christmas party because it's Christmas season, you will use a playful method to use a grammar as an MC. In a song, when you are a writer. In a posters, a title that can visualize others. Yeah. And grammar becomes fun and not boring. When you make something unique about a sentence, it becomes not fun and not boring. For example, when you are in a contest, a pageant beauty contest, that is something in a question and answer portion. You need to use your skills that is giving a words of wisdom. So in the last part of your answer, you will use a word that will mark to other people or to other person that will inspire them to clap for you. In inductive method, you need to show example first. So, like us as a teacher, before we gave an activity to our students, we make sure that we put or adapt a simple example that will help them to do the activity. And also let students discover the rule themselves. So sometimes they need to be independent and learn in their own so that they can be disciplined and curious about your topic, especially in grammar because it's very sensitive. And build curiosity and critical thinking. Why do we need to build curiosity and critical thinking? Because it will help them to be to adopt a knowledge or wisdom that will create them as something special in grammar. Because grammar, as I discussed earlier, we need to be creative and playful or something that may help them discover that it is a right thing to learn, especially when we are learning about the universal language, it's English. And now the deductive method. In this, we'll explain the rule first, explain the rule about grammar, then give exercise to apply it or ju- just an activity that will help them know about grammar. Then clear and direct, good for beginners. So as a teacher, we need to be clear in putting up some ideas that will help them to create their own grammars to quality communication with others. Yung that will others will not judge them when they speak about English in terms of grammar in any sentence that they put in through this. Then clear and direct, good for beginners. That is it. What is the golden rules for teachers? First, teach grammar in context, not in isolation. Another one is move from simple to complex, step by step. Balance accuracy and fluency. Correct mistakes but encourage speaking. Give practice and repetition, but keep it lively. Lively. Respect the learner's level and pace it. Connect grammar to meaning and use not just memorization. That is really important. So when we adapt all of these rules as a teacher, especially you move from a simple to complex. So why do we need to adapt that? Because first, the students need basic, and then it is more be easy to them to jump into difficult situation when they start in beginnings that is more easier. Then give practice and repetition but keep it lively. Yun. Because they say practice makes perfect. In grammar, there are no perfect, but in practice and repetition, we will adapt it correctly someday. Then connect to grammar meaning and use not just memorization. It is what I said that be creative, unique, and have that words of wisdom in terms of grammar. And now let's talk about the teacher's role, pedagogy. First, what is pedagogy? It means the way we guide learning. A teacher is not a judge of mistakes, but a conductor of voices and good pedagogy. Yeah, that's the meaning of that. We as a teacher, we are not here to judge the students. We as a teacher will give them words of wisdom and teach them. When they make a mistake, correct them, but not in the terms that you will make them awkward in their classmates. Something that they will also judge them. You as a teacher, you need to be an example, especially in teaching the grammar. Sometimes others, I'm not saying that all, but others are, in my experience, some of my teachers back then are saying that when you not adapt to learn about this, get out of my class. You're not part of this. You need to learn more and go for something else that you will need to learn. But I think that's wrong and that's a mistake. We need to be an example, a good pedagogy, because their mistakes makes them more stronger. Like me, it makes me more stronger. It back then English is my weakness, but I'm here teaching grammar rules to inspire inspire you, just like this God pedagogy. God pedagogy, there are some things that we need to consider as a teacher. First, inspires curiosity. We need to inspire the curiosity of our student in terms of their imagination, in terms of what they can vision of something, especially in grammar. Their vision is something that's difficult, but we need to help them learn that to be easy. Builds confidence. This is something that really important when we are speaking about English. we need to be confident so we can adapt it more in our surroundings. So we can share our ideas and we can inspire them to talk like we are talking. Yeah. Turns error into learning moments. So, like what I said earlier, it is something great because when we make a mistake, it will become more our strength. That error is something that we need to focus on, work on, because it will help us to create more better things, especially in grammar. When our teachers correct the mistakes in grammar, we will do that correctly. That will help us learn more. Makes grammar a bridge to communicate, not a barrier. Yeah. Oh, so what's this? Oh, let's make the grammar a way that will help us to communicate. Hin- na hindi siya maging barrier lang. Barrier means barrier means you are adapting a huge error in your life or in a grammar. Yours this is something that we don't need as an English speaking. So I hope you learn. But before I leave, I just want to say that grammar teaching is more than rules. It is a symphony of methods, guided by rules of pedagogy. When students speak with clarity and write with confidence, the music of grammar is complete. I hope you learn from that grammar rules is more than just teaching. We need to be creative and clear with this, that it is something more than we expected. So that's all. I hope this this discussion helped you learn about the grammar. Thank you for joining my discussion in this mini symposium.
Good day, everyone. My name is Victoria Viana, and today I will present examples of research on grammar teaching and the different learning needs of students. This presentation explores research on grammar teaching and addresses the different learning needs of students. Grammar instruction is critical in language learning, but research help us understand how it can be taught most effectively. This is particularly important in classrooms with diverse learners. Here are the purpose of the presentation. Number one, to examine research on grammar teaching. We look at studies to see what teaching strategies are most effective. Evidence-based approaches help improve learning outcomes compared to method based purely on intention. Second, to understand the different learning needs of students. Students vary by language background, proficiency, and learning style. Research helps identify strategies for ESL learners, struggling students, and advanced learners. Three, to identify evidence-based grammar teaching practices. The goal is to provide teachers and administrators with strategies supported by research, ensuring that grammar instruction is both effective and inclusive. What research says about grammar teaching? Grammar instruction improves language accuracy. Research confirms that structured grammar instruction leads to fewer errors in writing and speaking. For example, students who receive explicit grammar lesson produce more accurate sentences. 2. Grammar should be taught alongside communication. Grammar is most effective when integrated into real communication. Teaching grammar isolation can be less meaningful and harder to retain. Contextualized grammar supports a long-term retention. When students see grammar used in stories, conversation, or reading text, they internalize it better and apply it naturally. Here's the research examples. Number one, explicit and implicit grammar instruction. Explicit instruction, direct rule explanation. Ins- Explicit instruction involves explaining the rule and showing examples. Research show beginners and struggling learners benefit from this approach. Implicit instruction, learning through language use. It allows learner to acquire grammar naturally through reading, speaking, and listening activities without explicit rule teaching. Research supports combining both approaches. Studies suggest that combining explicit explanation with communicative practice leads to stronger understanding and retention. Research examples number two. Focus on form, SLA research. Focus on meaning first. Focus on form from SLA research prioritizes communication. Student focus on meaning rather than memorizing rules. Attention to grammar during communication. Teachers briefly highlight grammar use during activities, helping learners notice patterns without interrupting communication flow. Supported by second language acquisition research. Research show this approach improves noticing, understanding, and using grammar in real communication. Research examples number three. Grammar, teaching, and learning style. Visual learners. These students understand grammar better using chart diagrams and written examples. Auditory learners. They learn best through discussion, lectures, and listening activities. Kinesthetic learners. Hands-on activities, role-playing, and movement-based games help these learners acquire grammar effectively. Research examples number four. Grammar instruction for diverse learners. ESL, EPL learners need repeated exposure, explicit instruction, and modeling to understand grammar structures. Struggling learners benefit from scaffolding, guided exercises, and step by step support. Advanced learners require enrichment activities like problem solving and analytical tasks to challenge their understanding. Differentiated grammar instruction, flexible teaching strategies. Teachers adjust the level and type of instruction depending on students' need, varied activities and materials. Using diverse exercises, ensure all students can participate and learn effectively. Individualized feedback. Research confirms that personalized feedback improves students' accuracy and confidence. Implication of research. Inform instructional planning. Teachers use research findings to plan lessons that are proven to work. Curriculum alignment. Administrators can design curricula that integrate research supported grammar teaching strategies. Teachers' professional development. Ongoing training equips teachers to implement evidence based grammar practices effectively. In conclusion, research confirms that there is no single best method for teaching grammar. Effective instruction is flexible, contextualized, and responsive to students' diversity. By applying evidence based strategies, teachers can help students improve both accuracy and communication skills. And administrators can ensure curriculum and professional development are aligned with best practices. This conclusion highlights that grammar teaching cannot rely on a single instructional method because learners differ in proficiency levels, learning styles, and language backgrounds. Research showed that effective grammar instruction must be flexible, allowing teachers to adjust strategies based on students' needs. Contextualized instruction where grammar is taught through meaningful communication helps learners understand how grammatical forms function in real situations, leading to better retention and use. Being responsive to students' diversity is also essential. Learners such as ESL, EFL students, struggling learners, and advanced students require different levels of supports and challenge. When teachers apply evidence-based strategies such as combining explicit instruction with communicative practice and providing appropriate feedback, students improve not only in grammatical accuracy but also in their ability to communicate effectively. At the instructional level, the conclusion implies that administrators should align curriculum design in professional development with research-based practices to ensure consistent and effective grammar instruction across classrooms.
Thank you, Ms. Nika Oribiana, for your wonderful reporting. Today, I'm Jingjing Engay Piñaranda from 216 Picabo Cluster. Let's talk about practical recommendation from teaching and assessing grammar effectively with form rules to reals communication. This presentation explains how grammar should be through a to, do, and assessed in a way that helps learners communicate meaningfully, not just memorizing rules. Thank you, Miss Mika Oribiana, for your wonderful reporting. Today, I'm Jingjing Engay Piñaranda from 216 Pitago Cluster. Let's talk about practical recommendations from teaching and assessing grammar effectively with form rules to reals communication. This presentation explains how grammar should be through a to, do, and assessed in a way that helps learners communicate meaningfully, not just memorizing rules. Thank you, Miss Mika Oribiana, for your wonderful reporting. Today, I'm Jingjing Engay Piñaranda from 216 Pitago Cluster. Let's talk about practical recommendations from teaching and assessing grammar effectively with form rules to reals communication. This presentation explains how grammar should be through a to, do, and assessed in a way that helps learners communicate meaningfully, not just memorizing rules. Thank you, Miss Mika Oribiana, for your wonderful reporting. Today, I'm Jingjing Engay Piñaranda from 216 Pitago Cluster. Let's talk about practical recommendations from teaching and assessing grammar effectively with form rules to reals communication. This presentation explains how grammar should be through a to, do, and assessed in a way that helps learners communicate meaningfully, not just memorizing rules. Thank you, Miss Mika Oribiana, for your wonderful reporting. Today, I'm Jingjing Engay Piñaranda from 216 Pitago Cluster. Let's talk about practical recommendations from teaching and assessing grammar effectively with form rules to reals communication. This presentation explains how grammar should be through a to, do, and assessed in a way that helps learners communicate meaningfully, not just memorizing rules. Thank you, Miss Mika Oribiana, for your wonderful reporting. Today, I'm Jingjing Engay Piñaranda from 216 Pitago Cluster. Let's talk about practical recommendations from teaching and assessing grammar effectively with form rules to reals communication. This presentation explains how grammar should be through a to, do, and assessed in a way that helps learners communicate meaningfully, not just memorizing rules. Thank you, Miss Mika Oribiana, for your wonderful reporting. Today, I'm Jingjing Engay Piñaranda from 216 Pitago Cluster. Let's talk about practical recommendations from teaching and assessing grammar effectively with form rules to reals communication. This presentation explains how grammar should be through a to, do, and assessed in a way that helps learners communicate meaningfully, not just memorizing rules. Thank you, Miss Mika Oribiana, for your wonderful reporting. Today, I'm Jingjing Engay Piñaranda from 216 Pitago Cluster. Let's talk about practical recommendations from teaching and assessing grammar effectively with form rules to reals communication. This presentation explains how grammar should be through a to, do, and assessed in a way that helps learners communicate meaningfully, not just memorizing rules. Thank you, Ms. Mika Oribiana, for your wonderful reporting. Today, I'm Jingjing Engay Piñaranda from 216 Pitago Cluster. Let's talk about practical recommendations from teaching and assessing grammar effectively with form rules to reals communication. This presentation explains how grammar should be through a to, do, and assessed in a way that helps learners communicate meaningfully, not just memorizing rules. Thank you, Ms. Mika Oribiana, for your wonderful reporting. Today, I'm Jingjing Engay Piñaranda from 216 Pitago Cluster. Let's talk about practical recommendations from teaching and assessing grammar effectively with form rules to reals communication. This presentation explains how grammar should be through a to, do, and assessed in a way that helps learners communicate meaningfully, not just memorizing rules. Thank you, Ms. Mika Oribiana, for your wonderful reporting. Today, I'm Jingjing Engay Piñaranda from 216 Pitago Cluster. Let's talk about practical recommendations. Why does from rules to reals communication? Grammar, it's not just about memorizing rules. Grammar is a tool for, for communication. Learners should use grammar to express meaningful, focus, and real language use. The phrase from rules to reals communication that grammar is not only about learning rules and structures. Instead, grammar is a tool that helps learners express meaning and clearly. Students should learn how to use grammar in a real situation, such as speaking and writing, not only in a grammar exercises. Problem with traditional grammar teaching. Too much focus on rules and drills. Grammar though in isolation, student pass tests but cannot communicate well. A little communication. In traditional grammar teaching, too much attention and given that rules and drills and written exercises. Grammar is not often true in isolation without context. As a result, a student may be pass grammar tests but still struggle to communicate effectively real situation. This show that needs from a more communication approach. Effective grammar teaching. Teaching grammar is context, use, diagolis, text, and a real example. Move from meaning to form, encourage students to discover rules, practice grammars through speaking and writing. Effective grammar teaching focuses and context and meaning. Teachers should be dialogists, text, and a real example to show how grammar works in a real communication. Lesson should move from meaning to form, allowing students to discover grammar rules. Most importantly, grammar should be practiced through speaking and writing activities. Assessing grammar effectively. Assessing grammar through use, not only tests, include speaking and writing tasks. Combine formative and summative assessment. Focus on communication, not perfection. Grammar assessment should not rely on written tests. It should include speaking and writing tasks, where learners use grammar naturally, both formative assessment such as observation and feedback, and summative assessment such as exam are important. The main goal is to evaluate how well students can communicate, not how perfect their grammar is. Given feedback grammar, or should I say, given grammar feedback. Correct important error, encourage self communication, give clear and supportive feedback, help student improve accuracy and fluency. When given feedback, teachers should focus on important errors that affects meaning. Students should be encouraged to correct themselves. Feedback should be clear, supportive, and helpful. This approach helps learners to improve both accuracy and fluency, feelings, and discourage. Conclusion: grammar support meaningful communication. Teaching should go beyond rules. Assessment should reflect real communication. Effect grammar teaching help learners use language confidently. To conclude, the grammar play an important role in meaningful communication. Teaching grammar should go beyond memorizing rules and focus on real language use. Assessment should reflect how grammar is used communication. When when grammar is through to and assesses effectively, learners become more confident and successfully language user. Thank you very much.